Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, thank you for joining me. Beautiful day, have a look at that. Let me know what it's like in your neck of the woods. I've been up since midnight. I haven't gone to bed yet. I haven't even got a clue what day of the week it is, let alone anything else. You know, I heard the results of a conversation the other day that somebody I know had with somebody else about me and this YouTube channel, and their response was, oh, so Andy's far right, is he? The person that come out with that, and I'm not going to say who they are, is to the left. Very, very nice person, you know, and that's where sometimes it's best not to talk politically, depending on the company you keep. But all of us on here, and all of us out in the big wide world, have our own beliefs, don't we? And we either act on them, or we just talk about them in a room. And depending on how far we go, depends on the consequences that we can suffer as a result. Now, what I tend to do, and what I've always done with this channel, I talk. And I try and give what I think about things that matter. And every now and again, say if I mention things like Tommy Robinson, for example, which I'm going to come on to in a minute because that's the main thing I want to talk about in this video, I will get labelled as something I'm actually not. Pretty sad, isn't it? And then you get other people who, instead of talk, they decide to act. They decide to try and actively do something about things. Get involved, get their hands dirty. And depending on how far they go, they can suffer consequences as well. Now, while I'm recording this, I'm expecting Paul Thorpe and Danny to release a video explaining what happened with them and why they've decided to do what they've decided to do. And as we've all echoed the fact, you know, at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, sometimes you have to put your family first. And then if what has happened, I believe has happened, then they made the right choice. They've done what they felt they had to do. They've done everything they could do, and they've had to think and reevaluate where they're going. You know, I've always been very careful about how I relay things. There are ways of relaying things without blowing a gasket and going full on, and I try and raise awareness of important issues so everybody knows. That's alternative media for you. That's where we are. And more now, people can get in trouble, very serious trouble, about their views. Let's move on to Tommy. You know, we've all done videos about Tommy. Some people have gone to see him in prison. I want to make it very clear, I've never met the guy, but I do feel for his predicament. I do feel for the cause, his cause. I even wrote to my MP and said, you know, there needs to be some kind of interaction here between the government and the judiciary, because at the end of the day, this man, in my opinion at least, is suffering unduly. And the reply I got back was a template. When I sent it to Paul Thorpe, he said, Andy, that's probably about the 10th time I've seen that exact letter, word for word. So they're all in on it. That's quite obvious. Now, there's been some quite high profile events with regard to Tommy over the last several weeks in the form of a couple of appeals, both of which have been unsuccessful, and he's still in jail. To be quite honest, I didn't expect it to go any other way, did you? Now, The problem we have, or the problem Tommy has, and it's starting to be made public, that when he comes out, he could be rearrested, could potentially face another contempt charge, and potentially end up back inside for another 2 years. And you know as well as I do, that'll be another 2 years of solitary. That'll destroy the man, totally and utterly. Can't do it. And it's all over this video. You know the one I mean, the one he played on the big screen in London that put him in jail in the first place. Now when you look at the guidelines for contempt of court, and I'm no lawyer, it can be treated as a civil offence or a criminal offence and punished accordingly. Yes, there is jail time involved, but I still firmly believe that if it was anybody else, they'd have got a fine, a slap on the wrist, and sent on their way. But because it's him, it happened the way it did. Now, I'm going to add my voice to the list that is growing over this video. And I'm going to say, Tommy, you've proved your point. The video on there has been seen by at least 160 million people. That's more than enough to do what you set out to do. Although while that video is online, they're going to destroy you. In turn, they're going to destroy your family. And it's going to achieve nothing more than you already have. Now, I would think long and hard about not only your place, but where you see yourself going. Somewhere down the line, you've got to ask yourself the question, have I achieved what I wanted to achieve? If you have, take the damn video down and end up a free man. You have got to get out of there. And I've seen so many people now, YouTubers, content creators, starting to say the same thing. You've proved your point. You've proved it quite admirably. Get the hell out of jail. You know what you've got to do. There is a price to pay with any of this, really, isn't there? And if you cross that line, that perceived government line, they'll be all over you. It's happened to Tommy. Even Silver Fox Hot Takes got his collar felt by the authorities. Go and have a look at him. And we obviously know what's going on with Paul, Danny, Richard. The establishment don't like pushback from the public. All I ever am is a commentator, an opinion giver, but trying to bring it all bubbling to the surface. You get these other people that take firm action. One thing I want to mention is a very poignant example. You've probably seen it already, but remember that Royal Marine who, caring for the welfare of his colleagues, decided to take action, and he's had his life ruined. He's been targeted, his family, stressed, harassed, intimidated, pulled through the ringer. Yet another example. I'm sure there'll be a time where things will change. I don't think we'll have to wait too long. Do you? Anyway, there's another long one. I'm going to go home and have a cup of tea. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Have a look at these videos. As always, I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.